Radio. This is segment 2. This is the health and fitness segment. And I have Sybil Imel here with me. And I'm going to bring her on screen. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, I say Imel, but a lot of people want to rhyme it with my first name, Sybil Imel. Kind of, yeah, you're saying it great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, with a name like Micalizzi, like I'm always getting everybody's name incorrect. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, right? So tell me who you are and what you do.
I'm Sybil Imel, and I am a health and wellness coach with Isagenix. And so I help people decide on some health goals, and I help them find a solution and a system that will get them to those goals while coaching them and while educating them on some other areas in life that they might find some additional balance. And it's just been an absolute dream journey.
So how did you why, you know what I mean? Like I get while I'm doing it, how did you end up coming to this decision?
So I watched my father die from complications from open heart surgery.
Wow.
And the last few days of his life, and he was like a strapping 70-year-old healthy athlete. And it was just a slight repair that they were making in his heart. And they sent him home with a bleeding, aneurysm. And I think because of his physicality, everybody assumed that he would survive this and he'd be great and that he had help at home. And he had a very young girlfriend who didn't live with him, but the doctors made some big mistakes by sending him home, assuming that he would be fine, that he'd be taken care of. And probably about 5 days after they sent him home, he dissected, lost a kidney. It was 104 days in ICU. It was horrible. And he never really was able to get any balance with the food that they were putting in his feeding tube. So I knew that I would love that aspect of our company, our amazing superfoods. And I also just believe that, it's job security. Nobody's getting any better and more well. It seems like the population is getting more ill. So I made a decision that I wanted to have an impact in that industry. And so I left what I was currently doing to join Isagenix about 5 years ago. It's been about 4.5 actually, but it's been just a really great journey.
Now, were you in a corporate kind of, stable gig, or were you salesperson, or what kind of?
I was in a network marketing company where we went out and did a lot of kitchen demos and made a lot of food out of Pillsbury crescent rolls. So I probably contributed to the illness that people were experiencing. And it was great. It was a great company because I was able to do that at night. But it was also a company that I only got paid when I was out doing those demos. And it was a lot of cookware and a lot of stones and a lot of Pillsbury dough, like I said. And I needed to find something that I could make money residually, whether I was out doing shows or not, and coach people to better lifestyle choices.
So this network marketing thing wasn't something that was a dirty word for you. You already were doing it. So, to me, the more I do network marketing, I realize that everything is network marketing, isn't it? I mean,
everything is referrals. It's really the way that the world goes round. Yeah.
Someone asked you I was listening to a podcast recently, and I can't remember the Isagenix leader that was leading the podcast, but she was saying that, you're already referring people for stuff that you believe in anyway. So if someone said, what's your favorite restaurant? I'll say T. Cook's. And I'll give them the card, and I'll tell them who the owner is, and I'll send them down there, right? If somebody says, who's your pest control guy, or I'm already doing that. In fact, Relentless Talk Radio is completely built on referring people that I believe in. That's what the entire idea is about. So I think that they should just stop calling it network marketing. I think it's really a silly term. I guess it is network marketing, but isn't everything network marketing?
I think really the way that we look at it is we just talk about sharing. And, we talk about just if you have people in your life that you'd like to see on this planet longer than they would normally be here, they've got to be using this product. And so when you get passionate about it, and really, I'd like to save people a lot of hassle in, trying to meal plan, grocery shop, planned, convenient food. So I'm very passionate about it. I believe in what we stand for. But it's right. We don't let people waste time trying to find a new hairdresser or a better dentist or, a great restaurant. But none of those businesses, none of those professions give us any sort of residual thank you gift for, sending people to them. But that's really, again, how people find out about everything. And if you're a smart consumer, you do your work.
So what's the biggest lesson that you've learned as you've grown your business?
I kind of came to this business an anomaly. A lot of people come to Isogenics because they want to have better energy, better sleep, better performance, lose weight, and then this thing called wealth creation. And I was very much attracted to a business. I was shopping for a business. So I think what has been really interesting is that I am somewhat of an anomaly in our company. Most people start out just having some great success with the products, but I went in really just wanting to have a great business, have a great compensation plan to back me up, and also have great products that I didn't necessarily have to carry in my home. I don't have to make deliveries, and I love it. But what I've really learned is that if you assume that people are just going to be interested in the products, that's exactly what they are interested in, is the products. But if you mention that there is this compensation, this referral bonus, this thank you gift that comes along with sharing it, people will be interested in that too, because I've really never met anybody that's going to turn down better health or more wealth. So I love.
Don't give me more money, right? I heard no.
No, I'm sorry. I'm plenty healthy and I've got plenty of money. Nobody's ever going to say that. Said no one ever. Yeah.
Right.
So
it's interesting that you say that, because actually the reason why I met Trisha, who's our dear friend, both in the same company, was because every time I post a photo shoot or I do a Relentless Talk radio show, if my arms are showing, people are asking me, where is that muscle coming from?
Right.
And so I met Trisha through a networking group, and our company has a cleanse product, and the company that I was currently working with as health coaching and with food and referring people to didn't. And so I kind of got tickled that way. And then also, my plan was just to send Trisha business. Mm-hmm. That's what I do, And then when I went over and had an opportunity to look at the company and meet you and several other people, we met in Vegas for the first time. We had a fantastic time. I just realized that wealth creation is what Micalizzi Enterprises and Relentless Talk Radio and Micalizzi Art and Fashion is all about. It's all about helping people to earn revenue. Because I learned as a social worker, the best thing that I could do when I first got to school, I worked as a social worker in a women's shelter in New York City. I learned that the best thing I could do for people was to help them to earn a better living.
And people don't know the first
their problems wasn't going to solve their immediate problem. The immediate problem was they're in a shelter, they were being abused by their husband, they had no money and 4 kids in foster care. Really, the thing that was going to help them was money. At the same time, my personal training business, I was training people on the third, on the penthouse floor of a 17th Avenue Street and Madison Avenue apartment where they had gazillions of money. They had the same types of problems in a way, but they had money. The difference between the woman in the shelter and the woman in the penthouse was money. And so when I sat down and listened to what our company has to offer people, I realized that I needed to bring Isogenics on as Relentless Talk Radio's partner, and that I wanted to talk to as many Isogenics leaders as possible, because people may want to work with me, they may prefer to work with you, but I think it's important that people get healthy and they find a way to increase their revenue one way or the other, right? And so I really love what you had to say there. So the topic today, the over topic, is that self-care is not a luxury. And the story that you just told me about your dad is a perfect example of, we have to take care of ourselves or we're no longer here. I mean, that's how important what we're doing is.
Yeah, it's so true. And everybody has a story like that, I'm sure, that could relate back to nutrition. And in my dad's case, he really just thought he was just going for this routine open heart surgery procedure. And it ended up being a big mistake. But I just know at the end of his life, if we could have given him better nutrition. Even if it would have extended his life a few days, that would have been good. But they were giving him Ensure through a feeding tube.
Right.
And it didn't agree with him. And I guess from what I've heard, it doesn't agree with a lot of patients. And so it would be really great to partner with hospitals and allow them to get this much more gentle version of superfood in those feeding tubes, if nothing else. But really, you're right in that other layer, which is, it's not necessarily so much about the money, it's what you can do with the money. And when you can partner with a company that pays you the way that Isagenix pays us, there is some extra to go around. And I've just never seen anything like it. The culture, the community, the founders, and the way that they pay us, it shocks me every Monday when we get paid.
I got a check out yesterday and I was like, where did that come from? I'm looking in my back office today going, I'm in the middle of moving and doing my change and I'm still getting paid. My food got paid for this month. So basically I ate for free this month. It's awesome. Where other companies can you eat for free, right?
Yeah, there's nobody else that would let you do that.
The thing that you talked about too, that spoke to quality of life was also with your former company. No bad thing about that company, but you can fill in the blank about any company. I was just complaining about the traffic. Okay. If you're getting in your car every morning, like my partner does, and you're driving an hour to work in that flipping traffic, and then you're doing a job that you're not, either you're in love with or not. There's certain things about everybody's job they like and they don't like. But there's a quality of life. You're traveling or, there's something about your work that maybe is not conducive with self-care. What's cool about working with Isagenix is that you can design a life around what matters to you most. So I know for me, I need to get to yoga once a day, and I'm best at 9:30 in the morning. So if I was working for corporate America, I couldn't say, sorry, I can't go to that meeting, have to go to yoga. They'd think I was crazy, right? But for me, I have a work session when I first wake up, and then I go to yoga, and then I have, then I have another work session, and then I go to the gym, and then I have another work session. So I've literally built my life around having self-care by designing a life using Relentless Talk Radio and Isagenix and a toolkit of things that I do as a lifestyle entrepreneur to have a life that reduces my stress level, which is what anybody could do with Isagenix, right?
And anybody wants to do. I mean, there's been so many times that, having time freedom and not having to report to a job has allowed me to do really what I've probably been put on this planet to do. And that is to, I think, serve more people. And if I worked in a 9-to-5 job that I was, told when I had to be at my desk and when I could get up even to go to the bathroom, we'd have big problems. I mean, I was not put on this planet to be told, what to do and when to do it. And you have to design your own life. And there's just so many studies out there to show that, you're going to be a much happier person. You're going to live longer when you don't look at your everyday as monotonous, icky stuff. I mean, I embrace every day and wonder, who can I help today?
Well, and I think that's what's wonderful about the gig economy. Maybe Isagenix is not the network marketing firm that you want to work with, but there's lots of opportunities to work from home. Isagenix happens to be one of them. And this idea of people and, millennials in particular, choosing companies that have a social mission, like Isagenix has ISA Foundation, where we give literally millions of dollars a year away. One of the turning points for me was listening to the presentation in Vegas about how we give more to the only company that gives more to Make-A-Wish than we do is a little company called Disney.
Yeah.
We're just like, what do you mean? Well, family-owned business from Arizona is gifting more to Make-A-Wish, also an Arizona company, than any other company other than Disney, the biggest corporation in the flipping world.
Exactly. Pretty cool.
And that comes from people donating when they purchase food from Isagenix to help with their health. I mean, that's what's really crazy about it.
Yeah. And you just set it up and, it's our virtual online grocery store that's delivered to your door. So rather than having to go and put gas in your car to go and get your groceries, maybe people are making that decision to donate that. And it's our Legacy Foundation that does feed programs like Make-A-Wish, but it's very touching to know how we are changing lives, even that, people that aren't involved with Isagenix because of Make-A-Wish or another program that they're affiliated with.
It's just so amazing.
Yeah.
So the holidays are coming, right? Usually the average American gains 8 pounds during the holidays, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to be gaining 8 pounds this holiday season. I'm sure that you're not, and many of our
have to.
And so talk about the holidays and like why Isagenix might be a good option to start now, pre-holiday. I know for me, I'm doing a health challenge with my team. I think that you're part of that challenge too, aren't you?
Nope, we're actually doing one called the Black Dress Blitz.
Oh, see?
I know.
Because there's nothing worse than going shopping and feeling fat in the dressing room. I'm sorry. There is nothing worse than that.
Well, and really, I think that this is the time of year that people feel and give permission to themselves to actually gain weight. And I think, being in the fitness industry as long as I have been, people stop coming to the gym during this time of year because things get busy and kids are home from school. And I always think to myself, oh my gosh, they've never needed it more. We were actually talking about this today at Tribe Time about how, Christmas comes every year on the exact same day. Like we can plan for it. It's the 25th. Yeah. Yet people are shocked when it like rolls up. And I always think, why would you stop going to the gym this time of year? You're eating fudge. You're stressed out. You're probably drinking way too much, but you choose this time of year to not go to the gym and to overeat and to overindulge. And I think it's great to have the ability to participate and partake in those things. But what I love about Isagenix and what I've really been suggesting to the clients that I coach is have us one scoop, and the average shake, which is a meal replacement, is 2 scoops. But on your way to a party, make a 1 scoop shake so that by the time you get to that party, you're full. Then you're not going to be tempted to eat 17 pieces of fudge and cake and all of that other stuff. Plus, it's going to be something that's going to fill you a lot more than a cup of yogurt or something else that you might think is healthy. I mean, it's undenatured whey. It's going to stick with you for 3 hours, probably way into the next party, and you'll make a lot better choices. So this is the time of year. 'Tis the season to really give yourself the gift of health.
Well, what I'm really loving about the fact that we're doing our 30-day wellness challenge, and timing is the same thing, is that if you go into the holiday at your goal weight or closer to your goal weight and you buy that really cute black dress, you're less likely to eat the fudge when you're in the tight black dress at the fudge table, right?
Yeah,
so I think if you go into the holidays already feeling good, then you're kind of greedy about not screwing that
up. There.
Yeah. And then, Christmas comes and, Thanksgiving comes and then Christmas comes. And, if you're getting into New Year's, you don't want to be like shopping for your New Year's dress and go, I can't believe I just did that. I was at my goal weight and then I just put 10, 12, 8, 9, 15 pounds on because I couldn't, reel it in. And what's cool about Isagenix too, I think, and I was just talking to a girl that I just signed up today, is that she had a husband that they just recently divorced, but he was very particular about his food. So I kept her in line. When their marriage ended, she was like, great, I'm free. I can eat what I want. Now the pendulum is swung the other way, right? And so she needs to reacclimate that community, that healthy community that's actually circulating around making better choices around her. And so one of the things that I found was just amazing about Isagenix was the community. When we were in Vegas, we went to dinner and we came back and Anne-Marie, another member of our team, wanted to sing. Were you there with us?
Yeah.
And we were singing in the car, and there's this really funny video of like a bunch of people that some of us just met each other singing Bohemian Rhapsody together, like we were in high school, right?
Yeah.
And we went to have a healthy meal. I was actually cleansing that day, so I was cleansing, and we had like a really fantastic afternoon together. And that's what Isagenix offers people too, is a really cool community where you're actually focusing not around the pie and the fudge. There's nothing wrong with pie and fudge. I want to make pie on Christmas, on Thanksgiving too. Right. But I'm going to plan for the pie.
Right.
With my program, right? It's like
moderation.
You start doing these different things. So what would you say that nutritional balance is, because it's not just about losing weight. You can be at your goal weight and still not have proper nutrition, right? So going into the holidays and just life in general, what do you have to say about nutritional balance and what Isagenix brings to the table there?
Well, I'd say just even with my own experience, we had a lot of Halloween candy left over because we didn't have a lot of trick-or-treaters. So I put a lot of that in the freezer, and then we kind of spread it out through the next few months. But we left a bit in the bowl, had a bit of it this weekend, which is really kind of unlike what we probably wouldn't eat as much candy as we did. We love sweets and so on. I'm speaking for myself and my husband. We went boating, we had a few cocktails, and then we cleanse on Mondays. So that in itself is a really great way to combat a lot of bad choices. And of course, we do eat a ton of food while on Isagenix, but having the ability to cleanse once a week, twice a week, however you want to do it, depending on what your goals are, I think that really helps. But it is the time of year that everybody kind of lets it go. So why not be the girl or the guy that decides, you know what, this year I'm going to do it controlled. I'm going to do it with a program that I've, got some skin in the game. I'm going to make the investment in myself. People get Isagenix for Christmas gifts, or they give it to their spouse, or they put it on their wish list. And it's a lot of people who feel like if I can do it during the holidays, I can do it anytime. So
breaking the internet. Where'd you go? Shoot, we lost you. Shoot. Well, we just lost Sybil. I think bad internet connection. Hello, there you are.
So the continuation of this is just this year, do it different. This year, be in control and don't let food control your choices.
Yeah. So if people want to get a hold of you and they want to work with you, because they can work with me or they can work with you. That's what another cool thing about Isagenix is that we work together, and we know that your personality might be the better fit for someone. My personality might be the better fit for somebody. How do they get a hold of you? We've got your website kind of scrolling on the bottom, Sybil, SYBILIMEL.com for the podcasters. And can they call you, or what's the best way for them to hold you?
Yeah, it'd be great for people to call me. My phone number is 208-850-5273. I'm also on Instagram under Sybil Imel. And then, of course, they can find me under Sybil Imel on Facebook. So many, many ways to get a hold of a wellness coach here.
Well, I'm really happy we had a chance to have a conversation. And I'm super glad that we had a chance to meet in person. I was impressed with you right away. And so when I asked Trisha, my leader, who are the 14 leaders from Isagenix that I should interview, you were the number one on her list, by the way. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Wait till you see the other people. We have Albie Shepherd coming on. I won't tell the whole thing.
I saw the list.
The list is pretty cool list, right? Yeah. So lots of really cool people that came from lots of industries and are just killing it in Isagenix and helping just literally hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, no joke. It's amazing to me the impact that a small group of people, these 14 people that I'm interviewing literally are touching hundreds of thousands of people's lives. That's just amazing to me. That's just an amazing thing. So I want to say thank you for coming on Relentless Talk Radio, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thanks for having me. This is such an honor.
Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. So that was Sybil. And if you kind of hang out for a second, I'm going to run and get Helen, and she's going to sign on. And we are going to start with the third segment of Relentless Talk Radio. So I'm going to sign off, and come on back, everybody, in a couple minutes.